Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. Platinum has the potential to tick all the important economic boxes for South Africa, but continued strikes in the sector mean the country could lose out on its platinum patrimony. Mining Weekly editor Martin Creamer tells us more. Welcome, Martin.
Thanks, Shannon.
Early projections point to massive future global demand for platinum, but there are serious concerns about supply of the metal. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, security of supply is an issue because it creates price rises. You know, if your supply isn't constant and it's not balanced, your price starts going up. If the price starts going up, the market says, whoa, we won't be able to afford this. Scientists get into the lab, they start looking for alternatives. It's a big danger. You mustn't play around with supply. Now, this strike is influencing supply. Fortunately, people knew well in advance that the strike was on the go, so they prepared for it. So the blow hasn't been too severe. The futures market has also managed to keep the price down so it didn't spike. So we're in a fairly good space at the moment. You know, one worries about the workers because they seem to be in a losing space, and the industry is going to change. You know, there's not going to be those same jobs out there. There's going to be different type of mining, but in the meantime, we need to hold on to our national patrimony. You know, having this platinum is worth trillions of dollars. Any currency you want to use, it's really invaluable. Now, why should we be so concerned about this? Because so many things can flow from it, including this fuel cell. There are a lot of countries in the world looking at the fuel cell. They know this is going to be the engine of the future. They know that there's a huge window of opportunity at the moment open, that you can create hundreds of thousands of jobs, because it's not only in the actual, well, we're looking at platinum, so we export the platinum. That's a big money spinner in itself, just exporting that platinum. But when you start using a bit of that platinum, you create another big window of opportunity. It hasn't emerged yet. You know, the fuel cell era hasn't emerged. We need to grasp this while we can. If we fiddle around the way we're doing, you know, we're playing fast and loose with our future generations will say, heck, what did you do? You know, you lost this opportunity. All the other countries were looking to doing something. You've got 80% of the product that makes it work, but you've not even tried to go beyond mining with it. So I think we've got a lot to answer for.
Can you tell us a bit about the Hydrogen South Africa Catalysis project?
Yes, you know, the government has been looking ahead, because this high SA has been created by the government. Your money, my money, taxpayers' money has gone into this. They down in Cape Town, they hosted by the University of Cape Town and also Mintech. They are trying to make sure that South Africa doesn't lose out on this 21st century advance in energy, clean energy, zero emission energy from the fuel cell. So they've been studying it up. And the good news is that they've already produced their first fuel cell, which is internationally competitive. And what they need to do is to get that into customers' hands. Obviously, they can't take the whole market. You know, the massive market is the car market. There'll be people climbing in there. That's just starting to lift out of its sleepy hollow. But there are other markets. There are a lot of other markets, and what they're targeting is more the telecommunications market. You know, a lot of our cell phone masts are already powered by fuel cells. A lot more needs to be done, particularly with the fueling, you know, the logistics of the fueling. We've got to start going through that learning curve, because there's a supply chain opportunity, a huge supply chain opportunity. Besides the platinum in the ground, we export it, make a fortune. Take some of that platinum, make a fuel cell, sell the fuel cells, you make a fortune. But the supply chain for that actual fuel cell development is a huge industry in itself. So you can really, it ticks all the boxes when it comes to South Africa's economy. You know, it creates that economic opportunity, economic growth, and the jobs. And that's why I think high SA indicates that the government has looked ahead here. Science and technology has looked ahead.
Finally.
They also see the fuel cell. And they've actually put our money, your money, my money into this. And we should make sure that it gets maximum momentum. But instead, it's being tripped up by labour unrest, which can actually, if it cripples it, we will look back, future generations, and say, hey guys, you really mucked up.
So the fuel cell future looks bright then?
The fuel cell future is incredibly bright. I mean, this is the engine of the future, not only stationary fuel cells. I mean, if you think people look at wind energy, they look at sun energy. If you combine the fuel cell with that, the sun doesn't shine all the time, the wind doesn't blow all the time. But when it does, you're creating the hydrogen fuel that you need for that cell. And it's H2O from the water. When the wind isn't blowing and the sun isn't shining, the fuel cell can click in. And it gives you clean, zero emission electricity. Now that is like a wonder in this dirty coal age that we come out of. All our lights, we know it looks very bright as we look at it. But if we go down to Witbank, we'll see smokestacks, we'll see trucks, we'll see roads being ruined. That's also a very big industry. Yeah, we've got another opportunity to step in to this big world of electricity in the 21st century. We must do it with vigor.
When can we expect it though?
It's happening right now, and it's going to happen throughout the century. We've got a long view on it. We can take this all the way through the continent. We can take it all the way through the world. The applications are many. I mean, we know electrical applications are huge. Well, this goes into all that field. So you can be a fuel cell unit, for refrigerating trucks. I mean, you can possibly have a fuel cell in your kitchen that becomes your power station. There are so many permutations of this model.
So many opportunities for rural areas.
In rural areas. So it doesn't pay Eskom to go out into these far-flung rural communities, but they need electricity. Your fuel cell can give that to them. And I see now, investment by Anglo-American Platinum, which is under the cosh, on the labour front. They have said we've got to continue with some marketing, and they put a R1 billion. They've got firepower of R1 billion that they want to spend to try and promote the marketing of platinum. They're looking in the Free State to create a community of households that have power from fuel cells.
Such exciting times.
It's an exciting time because this is going to take us through the century. This fuel cell is going to play a big role. It should have come in far earlier. We've been hearing about it. But when Cape Town and HiSA told me this week they have got a fuel cell, it's globally competitive. It can go into the telecommunication space. Let's start moving, because just now the world will overtake us. I mean, if you go, a lot of research being done in London. They want to get ahead in this game. They're also going to buy the platinum. They can get their hands on the platinum. They can do things, not because we've got all the platinum that we're going to be ahead, but seeing it we've got it. Why don't we also do something, because the market hasn't been created yet? And once the big market of all comes in, for the vehicle market, the engine of the future, we should also be knocking on that door.
Well, rather late than never.
For sure.
Thank you very much, Martin.
It's a great pleasure, Shannon.
That's it for today. Join us again next week for more news analysis on South Africa's mining industry.